Good morning. Welcome to the special meeting of the Newark Municipal Council on Tuesday, October 7th. In accordance with New Jersey law, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the Star Ledger, the Jersey Journal, and the public at large, establishing the date, time, and location of this meeting. In addition, the agenda for this meeting was disseminated on October 3rd at the time of preparation and posted on the city's website. Roll call?
Council,
Present.
Gonzalez,
Present.
Kelly,
Present.
Quintana,
Here.
Ramos,
Here.
Scott Roundtree.
Present.
Silva absent, President Crump.
Present.
Council President, council members, I'm aware of an executive session. I'd like to take a
Yes.
roll call for exec.
Roll call for executive session.
Council,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Quintana,
Yes.
Ramos,
Yes.
Scott Roundtree.
Yes.
Silva absent, President Crump.
Yes. We'll be back.
Good morning, Brandy Daniel, Legislative Coordinator for Economic and Housing Development.
Morning.
Council President, to the question. The amendment in this agreement is to list the lender within the language of the agreement as the mortgagee.
I hate to say that. Can you say it again a little more in the mic? I
The
really,
lender is requesting to be put into the agreement paperwork as the mortgagee in order to give funding to the developer. So they want to be mentioned within the agreement, so we had to do the amendment.
okay. Anything else from the council? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Roll call to
Council.
advance and adopt.
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Quintana,
Yes.
Ramos,
Yes.
Scott Roundtree,
Yes.
Silva,
Yes.
President Crump.
Yes.
The ordinance adopted today on first reading will be advertised in accordance with law, and a public hearing will be held at a regular meeting on October 22nd or soon thereafter in the council chamber. Council President, council members, we have one added starter. It's 7R8C ASS, which is waiving special event application permit fee for the annual Trike Masters Breast Cancer Motorcycle Run, sponsored by Councilman Quintana.
To a second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Gonzalez. Roll call.
Council,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Quintana,
Yes.
Ramos,
Yes.
Scott Roundtree,
Yes.
Silva,
Yes.
President Crump.
Yes.
We are in the 30-minute public comment portion of this meeting, where each speaker will have 3 minutes to speak. Please state your name for the record. Is there anyone wishing to address the council?
Good morning, everyone, again. Donna Jackson. So I see you deferred the budget again, but still it's not clear. Even on the city website and the state website, there's no breakdowns. I asked at the last meeting, what is the amount being spent currently for executive protection? And I'm not playing. Is it up to $30 million? Because the police budget has increased. And I have a problem paying officers outside of my city. Yes, the mayor's gonna travel, but we don't need to take 13 with him. You could take one. Joe D, drive with one. If you guys had one, you'd be driving with one. You wouldn't have two in the back and a car behind you. I don't know what this presidential stuff that Cory Booker started, and then we continued the nonsense. But that's too much money on executive protection, and you guys need to start pushing back. I like that you pushed back on this budget today, but I'd like to know what direction is the state giving you? How much fines have you guys paid till today for this budget not being done? This also falls on Congresswoman McIver's shoulders, because this is the precedent that she started as she sat in that seat where Mr. Crump is now. You guys are not doing what needs to be done. We're not being fiscally prudent in terms of doing the things that we need to do. You guys need to look over the $6 million that you just gave to the Housing Authority. You need to see what's going on with that. Because people are testifying at the NHA meetings, and it's not going well. You can't take people, you can't just take Donald off the street. I've been sleeping in Penn Station for 10 years and put me in an apartment with no support. And it's not happening. I'm telling you, the seniors are angry. They're upset. They're trying to work some things out, but y'all destroying the senior buildings with this program with no direction. The other thing is the police budget, the fire budget. I got a fire truck with a ladder sitting on 18th Avenue in Stuyvesant, been sitting there 3 years. The window is broken. How do we have equipment that's not working? I didn't hear anybody in their budget presentation doing that. The budget presentations that were given, horrible. And it needs to be redone. The disrespect you guys show us by allowing these departments run by the administration to just give haphazard. I didn't hear anybody ask for extra staff. What are you doing in code enforcement? What's being recruited in code enforcement? How much money are we making from the parking authority? How much of that comes back over here? I'm very serious. Because you're talking about we operating in a deficit, we over here, we borrowing money, y'all asking the state for money. That's fiscally irresponsible. And that's been happening before some of you got up here, but with this Barack administration since 2014. We spending what we don't have. And that's gotta stop. Y'all getting ready to slam these homeowners. I talked about Irvington, but y'all getting ready to kill these people. And I'm out there with the senior freeze applications and the anchor applications, letting people know what you guys are doing. Because Irvington doing the same thing. They don't have a budget, but they put in their assessments for the revaluation. An average homeowner is getting a $2,000 increase in 1 quarter. Y'all getting ready to do the same thing to us. It's wrong.
Thank you for your comments. Next speaker.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Edison.
Morning.
I'm the investor, like I came here last month, 3 weeks ago, something like that. So I own the properties from 633 to 645 South 18th Street. You guys, when I came in 2017, was worse, much better. Look at these days in South area. But we need more. The taxes increase because, you know, a lot of investors, they come at because they believe in this city. Like I say last time, I do believe that. You guys doing that. But guess what? Last night, 645 South 18, they vandalized the property. At 1 o'clock in the morning, I have the videos, but the detectives, they are over there right now. You know, they keep calling me. I say, you know what? I'm not going to answer because I would like, especially for Councilor Kelly, you're doing good job. We have a nice park over there, the streets. But like I say, you know, the properties, you know, the tax increase, the people who doing the tax assessors, you know, because the citizens, you know, they do their job. Me, other investors, you guys doing the job. But, you know, at this time, I lost like a $5,000 in materials. So who's going to respond this? I need more police in my area, like I say, 633 to 645, and I have other properties around in Westward area. So like I say, you know, I feel frustrated, you know, when I see police all day long in the Home Depot area. I do believe because, you know, the Home Depot, they give a job to a lot of people. And also I give apartment for a lot of citizens. And also, you know, and I pay higher taxes because, you know, when I do improve, fix the house renovations, it's better for the city. It's better for the other people, believe that. And also, I asked last time if it's possible, more signs, like I say, please, whoever people eat, put it in the garbage trash. In my neighbor, many times I have to myself, bottles, people who eat, throw it in the sidewalk. So we need more education, more signs saying, place the food in the garbage. Now I have to call the exterminator to do the job. So like I say, I appreciate what the job guys doing. Like I say, you're gonna see more often because, you know, this has to be changed. You guys did the job, change already. But I need change in my Westward area, especially for you, Mr. Kelly. Please, thank you. I'm sorry if I be rude, but I feel like right now really frustrated for, you know, somebody bother my pocket. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your comments. Next speaker.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Ariel Lefkowitz. I grew up here in Essex County and I live in Jersey City currently. I'm also a public policy specialist with Humane World for Animals, formerly known as the Humane Society of the United States. I've come here today to urge this council to consider joining 150 cities in New Jersey and over 500 nationwide in passing an ordinance that bans the retail sale of dogs and cats in pet stores. I'm urging this action because Newark's one puppy selling pet store is currently breaking state consumer protection law, has been operating without a license, and is sourcing from out-of-state puppy mills that no one would knowingly support. There are also city officials that have admitted that the city does not have the ability to regulate this store. On top of this, there's currently nothing stopping another store from opening in Newark. And so now is the time to say enough is enough. So 150 cities have passed a humane pet shop ordinance, as I mentioned, because puppy stores harm residents by deceiving consumers, selling sick puppies, and using predatory financing practices. Most recently, Union City passed an ordinance like this, which affected 3 puppy-selling pet stores in that district. This offers pet stores an opportunity to move to a more humane business model, to expand their, services and goods. They could sell dog toys, dog food, offer boarding or grooming, things like that, things that folks who have pets are willing to spend a lot of money on. The pet service and retail industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and no pet shop needs to sell puppies in order to be successful. Additionally, under an ordinance like this, residents would still be able to get the pet of their choice by going to their local animal shelter, a local rescue, including breed-specific rescues, and they would still be able to go to responsible breeders who are only selling directly to the public, showing folks, where the parents, where those puppies have been raised, and people can make that decision for themselves. Going forward, if this is something that you consider, I'm offering myself as a resource. Our organization has language that we can help draft that would fit into the city code of Newark, and I'm here for any questions that anyone may have. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments. Next speaker.
Falling apart here. It's been a minute since I did this. Donald Jackson, Newark resident. Good friend of mine a few years ago told me that we govern through effective policy. And either the policy is ineffective or we're not governed properly. It could be a combination of both. We're less than 90 days away from 2026, and we do not have an approved budget for 2025. How is this effective governing? How is this good governance? Convince me as a Norker that the city hasn't already overspent what is proposed budgeted for 2025. Sounds like fiscal mismanagement to me. And unfortunately, taxpayers and the citizens are being extorted. Parking is criminal here downtown. If you do not properly pay the meter, and in some parts of downtown you can't feed the meter, you will receive a $91 parking ticket. How much money is coming back to the city of Newark from these fines? I don't have too much for today, as I'm still trying to comb through the budget, because quite honestly, it's a little hard for me to understand. Could be due to me forgetting how to read certain things since my time on the school board. Some things look familiar, some things don't. But I do have to ask the question, how is this good governance? Before any of you talk about the Beautiful America Bill, before you talk about the federal government shutdown, just know that the city of Newark has not adopted a 2025 budget. How is that good governance? The residents are demanding good governance. And I think we're owed that here in the city of Newark. You can't run on a platform for 20, 30 years and talk about a previous administration, and here we are 10 years later and have no representation. Things are not getting better. Do you drive through this city? Where are the street cleaners? I can't tell you the last time I saw a street cleaner. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox and I'll be back. But again, I have to beg the question, is this good governance?
Thank you for your comments. Next speaker. Looks like public speaking. No one of the public speakers. Now closed.
Council President, council members, that concludes the agenda for today.
Roll call to adjourn.
Council,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Quintana, Ramos,
Yes.
Scott Roundtree,
Yes.
Silva,
Yes.
President Crump.
Yes.
Council President, members, we are now in the special conference portion of this meeting. We will have a discussion regarding the Paquonic watershed from Directors Adine and Director Redding.
Good morning, directors.
Good morning, Council President, council members. Kareem Nadeem, Director of the Department of Water and Sewer Utilities.
A great morning, Council President and distinguished council members. Donnell Redding, Director, Department of Recreation, Cultural Affairs, and Senior Services. Great morning.
Council President, council members, the watershed consists of 74.6 square miles of watershed land, a little over 37,000 acres that the city owns in 4 different counties. In 2022, the city finished phase 1 of a security upgrade plan, which required us to do infrared lighting on some infrared cameras on some of the dams, bring internet connectivity to some of the dam areas and the spillways. Also do target hardening, putting up barriers, some road improvements, and things like that. We own, Newark is 24.6 square miles, including the airport and the seaport. So the watershed land that we own is about 3 sizes the size of Newark. The city also, inside that watershed, we have 5 reservoirs with a capacity of 15.5 billion gallons of raw water. Some of the other security improvements we've made, we currently have 3 security guards. We have 4 security vehicles, 2 pickups, 2 marked security cars, and 3 ATVs. About 2 years ago, we hired a drone pilot, and we now fly 2 drones. They go out manned or unmanned. I mean, we can program them to fly on their own, come back and land on the roof of the watershed building or wherever we choose, or we can just ride it. We also just hired Michael Baker in 2022 to do a watershed encroachment study. As a part of that encroachment study, we identified about a little over 300 properties, 300 potential encroachments. We started going out, sending letters out to those individuals to cease and desist, removing off the city's property. In 2025, earlier this year, we partnered with Greystone, another company that's helping us, working with our city surveyor, Joe Fox, to follow up on some of the people that's still encroachment, so we can start legally putting them in court to remove off our property. And that's still ongoing. We've also finished a study on the watershed police force. That's, we got the study back. It's still being reviewed by the law department and the administration, but that's something that we're still looking forward to one day having that security force up there. We've just recently put out bids as of 2 weeks ago on phase 2A of the watershed security project, which will do a little more fencing around our Cedar Grove area and some drainage improvements. We've also at the watershed, we've hired 3 additional foresters and 2 more engineers to come on board to help us work with the Highlands Commission around restoring our trailways and access and doing a tree canopy, counting our trees, and taking better quality of our water source that comes into the reservoirs that we treat at the Paquonic Water Treatment Plant. We know that this administration, since 2014, has took in the forefront of the steps it took to better protect our watershed, and there's still more to go. And we look forward to doing that. I'm going to turn it over to Director Ray.
Thank you, Director Adine. There's some key points that I want to address, and Director Adine did kind of, stabilize in terms of what's very important, which is our high urgent importance. And that's providing additional security, ticket enforcements, as well as our fee scale upgrades. So just want to present to you the collection of revenue that from our daily activities at the camp. I'm just going to go from 2022. Our revenue collected was $94,978. And 2023, it was $82,940. 2024 was 88,258. And year to date, currently is $90,017. So also, which I have attached in that package are some of the concerns that we are facing at Camp Watershed. We have some folks that's riding ATVs. I'm quite certain Director Ideem is, doing a little bit more to enforce additional securities, but that also is going to be additional funding that's needed as well. The encroachment issues in terms of getting our fair share, and more importantly, going up on our increases for non-Newark residents. Our problematic situation, which I believe can be abated, is that we have folks that just comes in from the township itself in West Milford, PA, New York, and they show disrespect, right? In terms of, okay, if we don't have enough security, we're going to come in and utilize the facilities anyway. So that's something that we're working diligently on to ensure that we can get the revenue that the city of Newark is owed, and also to help sustain us fiscally to move forward. So what my recommendations are for our fees is to go up on our non-Newark resident fees. We're gonna stabilize our fees we have currently for Newark residents, keep that what it is, and also look at, getting the best bang for the residents of the city of Newark, increasing those outside entities and agencies that's trying to abuse the facility. I'm open for questions.
Yeah, Mr. Chair.
Questions from the council. Councilman Quintana
Quintana.
first.
Dr. Kareem, can you give us an assessment of the recent fire at the watershed and what were the damages?
Yes, Council President, Councilman Quintana's question. So the latest fire that we had burned 800 acres. If we do know that maybe earlier last week, the commissioner for the DEP issued a drought warning. So we're in a drought. So a lot of forest fires in the drought is very dry. That means the ground is very dry. So anything can spark a forest fire. But the last fire was contained in about 3 days, but it burnt up about 800 acres. And not all fire, I just want to clarify, not all wildfires are dangerous. Unlike in Florida, they burn about 3 million acres every year. It's called controlled burns. Controlled burns help you limit a wildfire from getting out of control, right? And vegetation grows back. In New Jersey, they really don't do too many controlled burns, but it's something we did bring up to the state about doing controlled burns, right? Because it allowed the vegetation to grow back in a good time. So West Milford Township and the local responders that come up there, our Newark team, OEM director John James and his team, they always come up and visit when there's a wildfire, so Newark is providing assistance. I mean, they also use our water to put out the wildfire, but our team always respond.
Thank you. Councilman Council.
Yeah, a couple of things. Over the course of 2022 to 2024, Director Ratton, we have, and 2025, it seems like we have decreased in the revenue up there, and then some of the information that both you and Director Dean discussed was the encroachment issues, as well as just other violation issues of individuals just using the facilities. And it may appear that correlation helps to discover, one, the probably need for more security. So I know we talked about the 2 drones. We talked about the potential of the 3 guards, but what does that look like in dates of service? Are they up there during the weekend? What is the high volume of incidents that are occurring? Is it happening on Saturdays or Sundays or the weekend? If we have the adequate amount of staff up there to cover all of this, because one, it appears that even with the encroachment issues, what is the plan moving forward to deal with it, especially the space that we have up there and the amount of dollars? What does that look like in terms of dollars and cents, the security issues, and what will be our plan for that? I know we talked about possibly raising the fees for non-residents. I'm definitely in agreement with that, but without the proper security and detailing up there, probably raising those fees with individuals who are going on the property unobstructed is not be helpful. So I just want to try to wrap our arms around that and those plans. Where are we in a kind of, vaginal way with both of you guys trying to work to deal with this?
Well, actually, that's a great point, Councilman Council. To your point, um, it would actually help us, and I'm just going to keep pointing out in terms of the security perspective, right? We open Monday through Saturday. We're not open on Sundays, so uh, unfortunately, on Sundays, I feel as though some of the residents that's in the surrounding areas feel as though they have free reign to enjoy the city of Newark's property, right? So what I do suggest and recommend is that we have, and I'm just putting this number out, I believe this would be a great number, right? If we could have 10 additional officers at Camp Watershed. In addition to that, right, we 2 team members to actually work at our location, which is our main office. We had one team member resign, moved on. So we still need to fill a void there, right? So once we're able to fill that void, we will have more, as you say, presence, and to be able to do more monitoring and gathering those fiscal, disparities that we're dealing with. So I'm looking at that from a more of a collection perspective, revenue. In addition to that, with security, and I'm just going to kind of double down on this, is that it provides us the opportunity to ensure that these payments, and when you've seen the decrease from 2022 to 2023 and versus to year to date, which is not 90,017, that's a blessing. We at this particular time and receive that revenue of $90,017. But more importantly, we would be collecting way more revenue than that if we had more, hands-on, boots on the ground, a couple of more people working in the main office, and once again, additional security to ensure that these residents or these entities are paying their fair share. And right now, we're not even talking about fair share. We're talking about to increase the cost. And because we lost a lot of revenue, unfortunately, in this manner. So now it's time to enforce the outside entities, if I could use that terminology, to give the city of Newark fair share and more.
Anything else, Councilman Council?
Yeah, just wait, the Director Dean, I know we talked about the possible 300 potential encroachments. I know one of them is behind the train track where there's a baseball, softball field that someone uses up there religiously. There's a couple of other areas, but just in terms of just being aggressive in that area. And then, ultimately after that, to talk about some kind of revenue generating ideas, right? There are individuals who are up there that go up during this season, cut our wood, take it home, sell it on the road. But just to think about some possible, revenue generating ideas that will be able to help us outside of raising the fees. And then just to give perspective to when we just talk about what's happening up there, when you talk about boating licenses and hunting licenses, as it refers to all of the kind of wildlife that we have up there, and individuals who are up there hunting and fishing really for free. in the city, not generating or gaining the revenue from it, how do we, really put our hands on it when we talk about the 2 drones that we have and the 3 security guards for 37,000 miles of land, 72.6 square miles of land?
So yes, Council President, Council. One, the watershed security force is working 7 days a week. So we're here 7 days a week. 2, we work with all those local towns that border the watershed, right? To call them in when we need assistance with the police force. 76.4 square miles. The heavy encroachment that we seen years ago, we don't see now, because everybody know we're out there and we're coming out, whether our team and the city surveyor and Greystone, the company that we hired, and Michael Baker to follow up. We've and I can get that amount. We did some leases with people that's leasing land, whether they're parking for their stores or their businesses, or they wish to do some encroachment. And I can get that number. So we do see revenue coming from those areas because people have always asked to lease land, whether they open up a new business or parking up there. So that doesn't go unabated. The more of the encroachment that we're doing is making sure people get off our land that shouldn't be on our land. We want them to cease and desist, or they can request to lease parts of our land. But if the conservation easement allows it. The other part that a lot of the illegal tree cutting is not to the area, it's not like it used to be, right? Again, our presence with the more foresters that we hired, security being able to ride some of these ATVs that we see. We do work with the state, DEP and the game warden to come up there and stage, sit-ins and pass information on to them. So our job is not to chase people on the ATV, it's really to track the ATV, right? Where it's going, so they may park 4 miles away. We go in with the drone, stoop down, get the license plates of all those pickup trucks or trucks that they putting those 4-wheelers on. We then work with the local police in the city, and we send them letters that we've seen you up here, we catch you up there, all that type of stuff, right? We want to make sure we're informing them that they're trespassing. We will, confiscate, seize, and go after them legally for trespassing on the city's property. So I think more people are noticing that we're using the drones. We brought the marked police cars up there maybe 2 years ago. Security cars, so we're saying that, but it's never enough security when you're talking about 37,000 acres, 76.4 square miles. However, I think this administration is moving forward aggressively with the police force that's been under review, that and continuing to do phase 1, 2, and 3 of the security upgrade, right? And continue to collaborate with our sister cities, that border the watershed, that we pay taxes to, right? They have ability, when we call them, to come out and provide assistance. And we hold them to that.
Anything else from council members? I got a quick question, I guess. What's the total, and you might have said this, and I apologize if I missed it. What's the total number of employees that you have assigned to the watershed? And what are their positions?
So we have 5 foresters, 2 engineers, 3 security personnel, and 4 maintenance personnel.
And how many vehicles are assigned?
We have 2 pickups, 7.
7 total.
Not counting ATVs, but it's 7.
How many ATVs you have?
3.
Oh, okay. Are those open to us? No, I'm sure. That's all I have. Just wanted to get the number.
We have 4.
Just wanted to jump back in. Where are we with the one on your end? I know we talked about the Verizon building again, that project. I believe, is that Canister Road or Verona?
No, the Rising building is right by Green Pond Road.
Green Pond Road, right. And then second, the cabin project. I know that was some conversation a while back, building the cabins for revenue generation on the watershed side where the main office is. And probably need to get the engineer department back involved with that. But when we talk about revenue generating ideas, that was something that was discussed and partnered with, so if we can get an update on where we are with that project.
You're talking about the overnight
Yeah.
cabin project? I don't know, that's something that engineering, but we can revisit that. Engineering is working on thinking about an overnight camp. Thought that was a great idea when they brought it up years ago. I'm sorry, Council President, we do have 3 boats too. We have three boats.
All right, thank you. Councilman Catania.
Yeah, Director, in terms of security, are these armed officers?
No,
Well, let me go back in history. One time there was presence there, and they were called like Rangers, and they were armed. And there was some kind of, they would tell folks, you know, do you have a permit for fishing? You didn't, you were out, and summons. At that time, there was 2, I believe. One was during the day, or one at night. But it was a presence because the person was armed. And there was respect in that area, and they were called Rangers. So, not security guards, Rangers. You know, because again, and those folks in the woods, you know, sometimes they don't have that much respect for security. When you mention Rangers to them, they assume that somebody's armed. And again, the whole thing, how about in terms of the boats? How many boats do we have on the lake?
well, Councilman Councilman Quintana, to your question, one, those gentlemen back then, although we called them Rangers, they were the city security guards. They were
Right.
armed. So we used to have horses up there, so they rode horses, right, on the trails. Right, most people don't know that. And we had like the little dirt bikes. They rode the dirt bikes or the horses. Boats, the city has 3 boats in the watershed area and 2 boats at the Cedar Grove area and 1 boat in the city of Newark for the water department.
Thank you.
So we got 6 boats.
Thank you. Anything else from the council? I'm sorry, Councilman Gonzalez. Yep.
Yes, Director Redding, uh, you said that if you had more employees,
Yes.
the revenue would increase. Would, let's say, the revenue compensate for the additional salaries that we have to pay?
Well, actually, I'm looking at it from the from year to year date in terms of the revenue that we already collected versus to what we can be collecting if we had additional team members. I did mention earlier that one of our team members did leave and went to another job, so that diminished us in terms of having which we should have 4 team members there, but now we only have 2. So that's why I actually stated that we needed 2 additional team members.
But if you were to hire them, let's say, how much more revenue would you have?
Well, I can't specifically answer that, how much revenue that we would generate, but I definitely know that we'll have more boots on the ground to be able to, push our whole agenda in terms of bringing that revenue on, because we have more folks to request payment instead of, letting folks, if
But
you don't
when-
have eyes around, you can't see, so.
When you had, let's say, you had 4 individuals, boots on the ground, and you had revenue of 80,000. Now you have 1 individual and you have revenue of 90,000. So having more people working doesn't translate
Yeah.
into more revenue, is
No,
what I'm
2
trying to say.
2, right? And that's on top of what I stated earlier. We have 2 people, not 1 person, right? It's 2 people. We would collect more revenue than we have right now, which I also stated that's in conjunction with security, because security then can enforce some of these folks, right? That's taking advantage of our property and not paying and just being up there without enforcement to be able to ensure that they pay. I'm saying that the additional 2 members that because we used to have 4 back in time, right? So I just wanted to make sure that we can get back to where we was, right? And back in time, we was able to be a little bit more effective. So that's why I said we needed 2 additional team members along with proposed 10
Yeah,
officers.
what I'm saying is that maybe adding the 2 people might not increase the revenue, because at one point in time you have 4 and you have less revenue.
Yeah, I get Councilman Gonzalez's point, but to pinpoint that one, the number of permits year to date, I don't know if you have that number, but then in the past, the revenue was well over $100,000 annually. And so if you have only 2 part-time employees up there now without full-time employees, that may be able to help in terms of the direction and the monitoring of what is happening up at the watershed part, and then to possibly get back with the engineering department and look at, because I know we've passed some stuff to talk about parks and fixing parks and doing some other things, but to really begin to look at what it looks like in terms of building cabins and cabin space up on the watershed property that will help to generate revenue, allow individuals to come up there for conferences and retreats, allow our young people who experience camp over the summer to have a real overnight experience instead of sending them to other locations. That would begin to help in terms of revenue generation as well. And then I think by double portion, adding the additional security and putting more eyes on individuals who are non-Newark individuals who are up there illegally hunting and fishing and doing other things up on the watershed property, selling the wood and all of those things that can help generate revenue in terms of ticket taking. So when we do write a ticket to these individuals, who receives the payment of the ticket? Is it the city of Newark or is it West Milford?
I'm going to yield to.
If a ticket is written, I don't think we currently write tickets, but if a ticket is written, it's West Milford or whatever town that the ticket is wrote in. Because it would be their police force writing it.
I'm glad you pointed that out, Council. In terms of, it is a difference when we're talking about, thank you for refreshing me, right? It's a difference when you have part-time people, right? We have 2 part-time people, right? So you're straining 2 part-time team members. One team member was full-time that actually left. So that does make a big difference when you have 2 part-timers trying to do something 2 full-timers should be doing in addition. I just wanted to state that.
Thank you. Anything else from the council? Hearing none, I believe we are wrapping up. Thank you so much. Is there anything, before I go, anything else outside for the council? For the administration at this point? No? All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.